Never before in all our history have these forces been so united against one candidate as they stand today. They are unanimous in their hate for me, and I welcome their hatred.
The needs of working families and the middle class, not just the billionaire class. We know what's going on. We are paying attention.
It's definitely the end of the corporate age today. I'm feeling it anyway. How about you? Maybe the embarrassment of the corporate age is a better way to go about it. The embarrassment of the United States corporate world. It's impossible to keep up with just the fun stuff that goes on in the news, much less the sad stuff and the important stuff. Right? Everything that goes on with Trump is really just fun. It's distracting, and we've talked about how distracting it is, and you can see very, very bad. I gotta fix the input settings on this. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm not gonna start with this. Marcus and I were laughing about it. I don't know what to say. That the Germans are very, very bad. I almost might agree with Trump on this. He knows. I know. Having talked with Marcus, they're bad. They got some idea. Anyway. Good morning, everybody. How you doing? Good morning, Marcus. We're picking on you already. I'm so sorry.
Good morning, John. Yeah, and what an honor to be called bad German by 45.
Exactly, right?
I think it is great, and if you see the reaction, Juncker here in Germany, the head or the chair of the European Committee says, no, Donald, this is not true. What you are saying is not correct. And the officials, what I heard, the officials in Europe are horrified, and they are completely in shock when they found out that Trump and his gang have no idea about anything, how things work at all, and they are sitting there and are looking at each other and say it cannot be true, and this is ridiculous. And the echo is awesome, is awful here in Europe about Trump, and this is the positive news for me, because I think this erratic behavior of Trump keeps us in Europe united, or maybe gets us forwards in the struggle to get more united on different levels.
It's amazing that you say that. I mean, thank you, and you're absolutely right. It's when I said I apologize on behalf of America, who's not so stupid, for sending a complete fucktard over there who pushes around NATO people and embarrasses us daily. If he gets rid of the German auto manufacturers, we'll lose more jobs in the United States, because that's kind of the part he forgot, is that these factories where they're making German cars actually are in the U.S., employing U.S. people. It's got to be a conspiracy, though. You're probably training them to take over the U.S. at some point. That's really what's going on. It's got to be. I don't know.
Yes, and they tried, to my knowledge, they tried by other officials who from Europe who traveled to the US. They tried it several times, many times, to explain the Trump gang. I can only call them the Trump gang right now. How things work, and when Trump comes with the same old bullshit he was telling during the primaries, and they say it is unbelievable, and you don't have to excuse, you don't have to apologize for this, because, as I said, this helps Europe.
It helps everybody. I think we're all uniting against the stupid that is the Trump gang, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. I just wanted to get that out.
Yes.
Germany's under attack verbally by an idiot, and it's our country. That idiot represents our country, and it's really, that's what I'm fighting for, the honor of America, to not look completely stupid, right now. It's too late, too bad. You guys, good morning, everybody. Robert and Bev and Lynn and Stock and Jeanette and Eco and Springfield and Melissa and Jilly Love, how you doing? Disgusting is the only word that works. That's the face that everybody across Europe has. Merkel, the Pope, doesn't matter who they are, all just like, it's the face of Trump. That's Trump face. It's Trump face, right?
Yeah.
It's, what do we got? Brom, how you doing? So many people. Ellis, how are you? Catherine. Yesterday was surreal from beginning to end. That very much explained. That sums it up. Yes.
Yeah.
Everything just keeps getting. A month ago, we were talking about how the movie Idiocracy was a parallel. We've gone so far beyond. We've gone plaid in comparison to Idiocracy, the film. When you have Trump saying things, why isn't Gatorade in our fountains? I don't understand. There's because we went with lead. We went with lead in our water, lead, nitrates, other contaminants that we don't give a fuck about fixing, right? We couldn't even do Gatorade. It just blows my mind. Can Germany keep Trump for another weekend? He's originally Drumpf. Isn't he like German anyway?
Yes, his name of the ancestors was Donald Drumpf. In Germany, he would be Donald Drumpf.
All right, well, he's an immigrant, so take him back, please.
Yes.
We don't want
him. I forgot. I'm so sorry. I forgot one very important thing to say. Good morning, America.
Thank you. Good evening, Germany. Sorry, Trump's there, or wherever the fuck he is today.
No. It's okay if you want to stay another weekend and
and help unify your people.
It only can help us, you know.
There were 9,000 people protesting him in Brussels.
Yes.
I don't know that anybody heard that on MSM, but there were 9,000 people. They were not happy, right?
It was on the European media. Yes, it was. Of course, it was a news here.
Yeah. Hey, Jim. Hey, Steve. Hey, John. Hey, JLB. Dan Gook. And who else is in there? I saw Jim Lyon. We got Kat and Springfield. Good morning, everybody. So many people. If I missed your name, I'm sorry. We'll get you. It's an exciting day. So much stuff going on in the surreal world that we live in now.
And the scene where pushed away the official from Montenegro. I don't know if it was from Montenegro, but it couldn't have been made better in Saturday Night Live. I got a comment in my Facebook in this morning, and I think this was so fitting. It could be Eric Baldwin in this moment. You know?
Oh my God, it could be. And you had put that out yesterday, and I hadn't seen the entire thing. Here's a clip of that right here.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, they all know it already, but
you guys have all seen that. But these are the actions of a 12-year-old boy.
Look at me! Look at me!
I'm so important.
I'm the center.
It's unreal. It's unreal that a grown man would do that. Get out of my way! Get out of my way! Everybody, look at me!
Here I am!
Just fucking. What the fuck is wrong with him? What the fuck is wrong with him? We elected the dumbest person ever. And I saw this great post on Facebook that just shows his fail list. He doesn't really have a list of success. He has a list of fails. He's the ultimate lie of America that keeps claiming that, when a corporation goes under, the CEO is still wonderful. Anyway, move on. I know you guys saw that stuff. Hey, Chaz, how you doing? Good to see you. Jeanette, how's it going over there in Denmark? How's Denmark today? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah. And Melissa, no, it was no news about Gianforte here in Europe in the media.
No. All right, let's get on track here. We're going to talk about Greg, asshole Gianforte, who won for various reasons, but it was actually a victory for the Democratic Party, and we're going to talk about that. Anybody who doesn't recognize the victory, the ground we gained, we will cover that information. But first, let's start with our wonderful card today. Because the card today was based on this. Wipe it with Trump. I love that brand time. Wipe it with Trump. There's really nothing else you can do with the Trump brand other than wipe your ass. It's about all it's really worth. Right? So do you know that Trump toilet paper, your sale will support migrants? This was created by a Mexican lawyer who it will arrive at the end of the year, be sold in grocery chains and supply centers. I will definitely be picking me up some Trump 4-pack toilet paper if I can find it in my neighborhood. Right?
in this case, if they have a budget for a promo video or for an advertisement, I would suggest to show it here.
Oh, that would be wonderful. That would be a
Yes.
great idea. So that's where the card came from. Very inspiring. 30% of the profits or whatever they make, he's not trying to make money out of it. He's a lawyer. He created it. It's like, whatever. Let's create something that's actually useful, a commodity. People use this, right? You're not going to ever not need toilet paper, as far as we can tell. It's perfect. It fits for him, right? It's kind of like an orange creamsicle, 4 rolls. Wipe it with Trump. And 30% of the sales will go to help migrants. That's a great idea. A Trump 6-pack might be like shitty beer. Yeah. Shit stain. Exactly, Catherine W. Trump can now hold the shit stains. There's my daily creditor call. Where they call me from. Every day they call me from a different state. Today was Tennessee. It's wonderful. Now that they've opened the doors on allowing credit people to do that again, I get so many more calls. Thank you, Don. Appreciate that.
Maybe it was CNN and they want to hire you.
That's funny. I would say no. I would actually say the only job I would take is CEO.
Good one.
Editor-in-chief. Right. I just want to remind everybody that we got this coming up on June 9th through the 11th. This is the People's Summit, and Bernie going to be there. Nina Turner, Josh Box, Glenn Greenwald, a whole bunch of people. And we are going to be streaming that. Scott Galindez will be there with the Live View solo unit. There will also be other live streams running. I think I don't even know which groups are doing it. Our Revolution, Democracy for America. We're coordinating with these guys. So we'll be using their streams and bringing in our streams and doing interviews, and we'll have a bunch of people there. And I think Sam Ronan's going to be there. So join us for that. That's going to be a blast. And now we're going to move on to this, which everybody's going, what happened with this guy? Urinal cakes. That's a great idea. Oh, that's a great idea. We need to put Trump's face on urinal cakes. That's a fantastic. Whether we like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I have a slight idea. Those stones you find in pissoirs.
In stand-up toilets. I don't know what they call them in Germany. Is that what they call it? Pissoir.
It's called. We took it from French. We call it pissoir.
All right, here we call it a urinal. Which probably, I don't know where the
fuck
fuck
that
comes from.
Yeah.
Stand-up man trough, right? And you know,
those,
the little cakes,
those
the little
little,
fresheners.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. There's,
Yeah,
I've
good idea.
seen, yeah, and they have, and for guys in America that are drunk, they have like those mats that have targets on them, so they give them a place to aim, so that they're not like pissing all over the walls. So if they give them Trump's face, maybe put like target areas. Or,
what about barf bags?
oh, that's an even better one. Barf bags. See, there's all sorts of products we could come up with that.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's wonderful. You guys, you guys are so great. It's not a cake, it's Soul Rebel.
Not really, no.
Having worked in an industry where I had to deal with inventory control, which included ordering products like cakes that were meant to be peed on, I can tell you that the manufacturers of them call them such. So I realize they're not really a cake. It's a cake of chemicals that has a purpose. We'll just go there. Anyway, on to more important things besides piss and where it goes. This is about the Montana Secretary of State runoff, and we had Rob Quist, that was the Democrat we were pushing, and no, he didn't win the reporter bashing, and I hate the fact that they're using alleged. We have an eyewitness. He admitted to doing it. He apologized for it. It's not alleged anymore. He did it. So let's stop using the words alleged. He admitted. The guy that admitted that he pummeled a reporter and said, whoops, I shouldn't have done that because I'm 12 and I'm a big, stupid, bully asshole. Thanks for electing me. It's not alleged anymore. Greg did it. He's an asshole. And yeah, he won, and we're mad about that. But there's a few reasons why he won. And it's not really a win for the GOP. It's almost like a win, but you go in with a big sign that says, I'm an asshole, and you voted for me. Now what are you going to do? That's basically what happened here. We cut the lead margin down by more than half, right? He really won by about 6 points of difference that needed to be gained. There was 30% of the votes that had already been cast, and they couldn't change them. They were receiving calls from people. Please, I want to change my vote. I want to change my vote. The 3 papers that unendorsed asshole did so the day of the election, right? Or the day before the election. In terms of money, this is where it really blows my mind. You want to see some spending, right? You want to see some spending. I totally misquoted this the other day. I thought that we had raised $5 million for Rob against whatever the millions they were spending. No. Here's the numbers. Rob raised about $218,000. That's Rob. Now, it's listed as Democrat there, but Rob had 0 support from Tom Perez, Keith Ellison, and the rest of the Democratic corrupt National Party. What Rob did have, and only wanted, was Bernie Sanders' support. So that's us raising money for Rob, not DNC, not Keith Ellison, not Tom Perez, not any of those assholes in there. All right?
Yeah.
It's Bernie, you, me. We did that. Spending against Greg Gianforte, $438,000. That might have come from the Democratic Party. Who knows? All right. I don't know where that money comes from. Look at the money spent for Greg. For Greg is double and then some what the for Rob was. And Greg had the support of the Democratic Party. And look at all that outside money being spent against Rob Quist. $5.6 million fucking dollars spent for a 6% lead.
Yes, and look, it is nearly 1 million for each percent difference. Ridiculous.
Yes, it is. Very good point. Very good point, Marcus. 1%. That's what it cost. That's what it cost the Republican Party, right? That's what it cost the Republican Party to go against the people, to buy an asshole in an election. And we're not done. We're not done. But wait, there's more. There's more to this. So now he enters office as a lame duck. And you got a whole bunch of people that voted for him. I'm guessing more than 6% that have changed their minds. Okay. Granted, there's a bunch of Montana assholes that are like, that made me want to vote for more, and I think punching a reporter is a great idea, and he probably deserved it. So there are some Montanans that have their heads in their ass there, and gonna have to work on that, whatever. Some asshole in Texas also suggested as a joke that shooting reporters might be a good idea. So we've got some problems, definitely have some problems in some places, but now we have a lame duck Republican in the one seat of power that we need in Montana. We have Rob Quist, who's seasoned. He's popular, and Montana knows he should have won anyway. We have a guy who may end up going to jail. He's on assault charges, even though it was a misdemeanor wrist slap. He shouldn't even be allowed to be in office at this point. He's got charges he's facing. That should disqualify you. But it doesn't in corrupt Montana and our government, right? Anyway, we've got a lot of time to work on the next election and getting this asshole out. And we've got everything to gain, right? We've got people that are already turned. We just have to engage with them. We just have to work with them, make sure they stay with us, make sure they stay with Rob. We have to make sure Rob has our support and that he wants to run again. And he understands that this time he's going to get the full backing. And we need to put pressure on the Democratic Party and say, if you actually want to be the party of the people, why not invest to the goddamn people that the people want to invest in, like Rob Quist, and do it the way we say. We can't take over the top leadership in the DNC yet, but we can pound the fuck out of them. Verbally, publicly, socially. And we can show them that our money won't be going to them. When they send us the email, hey, you're ready to help us win? Fuck you. I'll be donating directly to Rob. Thank you. We control those powers. Yeah, Mark.
It would be interesting to see about the early votes. If there weren't no early votes, I think it might be possible that Rob Quist would have won this.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. There was already a thing that said if the people who wanted to change could change, be over.
Yes, and I think this battle was lost by numbers, by a small number. But I think on the other side, this battle was yeah, it was a kind of huge win for things which we want, for what we stand, and with the candidate Rob Quist.
Yep.
I think it is not. It should not be considered as a lost battle.
It's not. It's
Not
not. a lost battle at all.
this would be too one-sided, you know. If you
Right.
see what John said, how much they spent on to bring Gian40 through, this is ridiculous, you know.
In other words, we don't need to spend near that.
Yeah.
We don't. We need to spend about $1 million.
Yes.
Apparently, if we're going to go off numbers, we need to spend
Yes.
about $1 million. I mean, we don't have to spend as much money. We just need to talk to people. Greg's not going to have a good time doing that right now.
Sam said it when he was on the show with the people meet Sam Ronan. He said it. He wouldn't need a lot of money as the most important thing. He says what he would need is an army of people knocking on the doors and getting the candidates through. And I think there he is absolutely right. And I think he will talk about this tomorrow as well.
Oh, yeah, because we're going to have Sam Ronan on again, talk about some other stuff. Do a lot of other questions people wanted to ask about fracking in Ohio. And absolutely. Jay Pearson, thank you so much. Good to see you. John, you and Marcus are so refreshing after knowing what else is happening in life. Yeah, I know. It's not a lot of good stuff going on. Yes, I did see the guy who said fuck you to the group in there. That was unfortunate. And wait, listen, back up. Elijah, you said the Democratic Party will never support good people. We are the Democratic Party. We will be supporting good people. Okay? I'm going to talk to you all about that, about what I'm doing with my Democratic Party right here in Lynn County, with the chair of my Democratic Party in Lynn County, and how we're going to change the game in Oregon. Why do we need to change the game in Oregon? Oregon's doing great, right? We're very progressive, we're very liberal. No. There's so much more work. No. We need to go left. We're going way left. We're going to bring left back to where left's supposed to be. Right now, left is actually right. That's how fucked up we are. So we need to go way left, and we need to bring the Democratic Party into the 21st century. And I've been given an opportunity to work with my county party to bring it into the 21st century, prove that it works, show our processes and systems, bring those to the state, show that they work, and then take those and bring them to red states so that we can fix those states. That's what I used to be. I was going to go into this. We'll talk about it later. We're going to. I'm just telling you guys that this is all good stuff. This is all good stuff. This is in a war, in a battle. You come back with this war intelligence. You're like, all right, so we lost that battle, but look at what we gained. Look at all this intelligence we have. Look at what we need. Look at what we did. Look what we accomplished, and look at what it took to accomplish that. We got this in the bag next time. Begin your battle plans for other states now. Take this information and work with it in other red states. Right?
Yeah.
Let's get some more Guardian reporters in red states. Right? To talk about the CBO, right? Talk about CBO with your Republicans. That seems to be the thing, right? Because that's what pissed Gianforte off, was being asked a direct fucking question about, the Congressional Budget Office says your budget is bullshit, your healthcare plan is bullshit. You have any response to that other than they're wrong? Anyway. Yes, it is, John Warren. It is good news. You're helping to bring the Green Party to forefront in California. Wonderful, Jim Lockett. It's not, it's all hands on deck, whatever progressive group you want to join in. It's about progress. We are a progress fighting a regress. That's it. It's really what this is.
Go for it, Jim. Great one.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Great. Yeah, good job. All right. There's just a couple. All the links are in the description. You guys know that. There's a couple links here. This is Politicus USA. House Republican says violence is appropriate when reported deserves it. As we've got several GOP that have made statements. Several, and then a lot of people in Twitter and social that are backing these guys that have said, yeah, hey, fuck that reporter, fuck your freedom of speech. We're just if we think you're a dick and you deserve it, we should be able to beat you up. That kind of bypasses some basic laws of civilization. So if you really want to go live that way, that's not going to fly. No tolerance for that. Very easy to be able to get rid of somebody like that. I don't know how anybody could stand somebody like that. So we've got, that's the growing violence issue we have here, is that we have a group of people that really truly believe in violence as a means to an end. They're very happy with that. Morally and ethically, they're all right with it. we're fighting an evil. I'm not going to seek compromise with that. I'm not going to seek peace with it. I'm going to seek to defeat it and remove it from power. Okay? And I'm going to try to do that without using their tactics, because that's what sets me apart. And that sucks, because it's so much more difficult and takes so much longer and it's so more boring.
But the most powerful way.
It is. It is. It is. It absolutely is, Marcus. We just watched the leader of the free world be an asshole. We watched that meme, guys. Can you punch a Nazi still, says Elijah? I mean, I'm not going to... I don't know how to respond to that. I talk all the time about what I would do in a situation where I thought it was right to do so. And I believe there are situations where it's right to do so. But I'm just going to leave it at that. You are the one who has to deal with that and face the consequences of your actions. I'll leave it at that. All right? I think overall what we can say is it would be better to take them down with intelligence than it would be with a fist, although it would feel so good for a little while with the fist anyway. It's kind of like a line of Coke. Whew, that was great. And now wait for the guilt. Wait for the guilt. Let's wait for that withdrawal. You're going to want to go punch somebody else to make you feel better. That's how it's going to work. Back to the Germans are bad. I don't know what else we can say about this other than...
very bad. We are not bad, John. We are very bad.
I know what I want to... They're very bad. In comparison, Hillary Clinton today was talking about, the whole... was it not nasty girl or whatever nasty woman or whatever the whole comment was, and how that might be a good idea. So maybe Trump is really doing you guys a favor here. Germany's the bad boys. That's fine with me. That works.
Yeah.
That's PR the wrong way.
I would lie shattered on the floor if this one would come from Bernie.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, but not from this idiot.
Yeah. And here, on the other side of things, here's Angela and Obama hanging out, having a beer, chatting.
And look, her mouth shows a completely different direction, just as she would be upside down, you know?
Yes. Her face is the opposite reaction to what it was during the NATO speech. It's just, my God, look at how happy they are. And they're just laughing about Trump. That's all they're doing. They're just laughing. He's like, I don't have to do this job anymore. And I murdered people around the world. She's like, I know. And you have a Dummkopf in your office.
And I will never forgive you that you left.
Right.
And they're joking around and having fun.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So wonderful. So, I don't know. Thank you for being bad, Germany. Keep it up.
Yeah.
Keep it up,
We'll
please.
do our best.
Keep selling cars. Keep making cars and selling them in the United States, please. Keep working on renewable energy.
Yeah, and we should go on, and we should go on producing them in the United States, just like we already do.
Yeah, keep that badness too. Appreciate that. Really appreciate the jobs, the few and far they are. Back to us. Joe Lieberman, who was actually being considered for the FBI director, has withdrawn from being considered from the FBI director because he's like on the legal team. It's like, are you kidding me? I don't even know why it was even suggested. So bye, Joe. That's just a blip. I totally didn't cover this, everybody. I don't know why I didn't cover this, but I didn't. Oh, Dengulk, that's Dennis from Germany. Okay, you changed your name. John, I was so angry to see him during our national holiday. What are you saying here? Hang on, I was so angry to see him during our national holiday. Merkel only invited him to get good publicity for the next election. You think?
Of course.
Obama? You talking about Obama?
Why do you think is Obama right now in Germany, or did he meet Merkel? In September we have elections. She needs good photos.
Okay. Okay, this is optics. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize this was a press op.
Yeah. It's all politics, man.
Why not? She's doing an okay job. I mean, really, is there anybody else running that you want to put into place? Do you want to borrow a Trump kid? We could give you like Eric. I don't know.
I don't hate her for doing this, but you got to see what's behind it, you know.
Sorry, I'm just trying to imagine the state of Germany after a year if Eric Trump was in charge.
You think we would tolerate him for 1 year? I doubt this.
I don't even know that he'd get a day. I don't even. God. Anyway. Yeah, Dennis, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Photo op. Of course. Bye, Joe. We deserve an FBI director who will investigate the DNC. Yes, exactly, Angry Cascadian. We're not going to get that, though. We're not going to get an FBI director worthy of the role. We're not. We have a corrupt government at the high level. They're just going to shuffle pieces of shit around. They're going to make up new lies to cover up old lies. They're going to keep working on a way to pull themselves out of this hole so they can all survive and have jobs doing something. That's all they're working on right now. They really don't give a fuck about us or anything going on in the States. All these suits and ties care about is keeping their jobs and keeping things stable enough to maintain the global arms trade and the fossil fuel circle. That's it. That's all they care about. All the bullshit and talk about possibly having health care for people and taking care of things. The establishment doesn't give a rat's fuck about you and me. Remember that. And that includes Hillary Clinton, who gave a speech, I guess, and everybody's saying, I'm with her is back in fucking hashtag trends on Twitter. Are you kidding me? After everything we know, after everything we learned from WikiLeaks, thank you, WikiLeaks, very much for providing us with the truth. After everything the DNC has admitted, after everything we understand, after the fact that the DNC still will not just say we're sorry, but admits to the shit that went on, you're still with her? I don't know how I'm going to work with Hillary Clinton fans because I find you just as ignorant as Trump fans at this point. Pull your fucking heads out. Wake the fuck up. There is really no difference between 45 and the Clinton family. None. Whatso-fucking-ever. Anybody that wants to tell me Hillary Clinton is a great person and did a lot for women and activists, she was on the wrong side of history in the civil rights movement, for fuck's sake. The wrong side. She stood with white racists. I don't understand how anybody at this point. She sold more weapons of war than any other fucking SOS in the history. She sold more fracking around the world than any other SOS in history. She's proud of these things. Fuck you when I'm with her. I'm with somebody that has integrity.
John?
Yes.
Get over it.
There you go. Get over it. Get over it. Fuck yeah. Get over it.
Hillary's history. Hillary's done.
No, she's making it. She did a commencement speech. Everybody's cheering it. She's on her way. She's going to try. She's going to try. I swear to God, if I see a Clinton
let her do a little show, but she would never ever run again for the Democratic Party.
Yeah, no. And anybody, and listen, anybody who says, well, if we had her, this wouldn't have happened. Fuck you. Trump is, I know that's going to happen. Everybody's going to leave. Fuck you in a general fuck you sense. Fuck you in the action of the verb fuck you. Fuck you like the guy said it on the stairs, according to Nita Turner. Because she was saying that he just uses that word all the time, and so do I, and you know that. All right? So we'll just leave it at that. Markus, let me explain. Markus earlier said, thank you, America. Trump has unified, or is unifying Europe. Thank you, Trump, for unifying America. Hillary would have done neither of those things.
No.
Hillary would have maintained the status quo, and we would have died due to climate change. Okay?
To put it in another picture, I think what we experience with Trump is a kind of hardcore porn, while Hillary Clinton's administration would be a soft porn, boring, and yes, it would be tranquilizing. And nothing would change. Things would slowly get worse.
Exactly.
Then it is better to wake up and find yourself in a hardcore porn. Oh God. Did I say this?
You just said that. What? What analogy did you just make?
It came suddenly into my mind when you talked about Hillary Clinton.
It came. Huh?
I don't know.
I'm gonna go.
Should visit Sakara.
We won't have Trump for 8 years. We won't have Trump for 8 years. He will be ousted within a year. There's no way. There's no way. I was listening to Hillary's speech, by the way, at wherever the hell she was. I was listening to a portion of it. I want to compliment her, actually. I just want to try to say this. Like I have respect for Hillary Clinton in the sense that she understands how to be a politician and not act like an asshole. Generally, something we don't seem to have a lot of going on these days. I have respect there, but she totally misspoke in terms of history. Probably just to get the crowd cheering, right? Two things about it. First, I heard part of her speech where she was talking about blah, 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 history, and she sounded like the Hillbot. And I was like, yeah, it's just Hillary sound like a Hillbot. And I was not impressed. I was not moved. It was her same droning voice that I can't fucking stand, that I couldn't stand during the primaries. And what she said was incorrect. She was referencing Watergate. And she said, I remember that was why somebody else was impeached. It was due to, she said, quote, he was impeached due to obstruction of justice. And that is not true. Nixon was not impeached. The process of impeachment may have been going, but he was forced to resign because of it. He was never actually impeached due to obstruction of justice. Do you understand that? So Hillary just used that as a thing, right? She should have said, forced him to resign, but she didn't. Anyway, who's counting fucks? How many did I do?
Dennis.
Do you have a fuck counter? Must be like cranking. Anyway.
I have a clicker.
You have a clicker? I should be hearing it.
That's muted.
God, and geez, I don't know that you probably aren't watching. Nancy Greenman, if you're watching this episode, I made zero promises to remain civil and calm because I only thought you'd watch yesterday's, and after that you wouldn't watch anymore. But if you're watching this one today, there's a lot of F-bombs in this show. Again, not an example of what I want to do for Lynn County Democrats. There will be no F-bombs in the Lynn County Democrats, anything that we do together. I just want to make that very clear.
I think we fucking guarantee this.
Yes, we fucking guarantee that. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you, Jupiter Judy. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you guys are laughing. I'm glad. She was at Wesley College, something like that. Yeah, Wellesley. That's the. Jeez, it's not Wesley. It's Wellesley. Whatever. She was. But let me tell you. Let me compliment Hillary Clinton. Let me compliment Hillary Clinton in the weirdest way. I was scrolling. I was looking on Twitter because it was trending. Clinton at Wesley or whatever it was, and I click on the first clip, just thinking it's a good clip of her talking. I didn't even look at who posted the clip. I didn't even look at what their headline was. It just random clip, and it was actually her coughing. It was her having trouble with. You talk a lot. It happens to me, and you got to go up. Marcus had it happen. He's like, you got to cough, and you got to go off camera, right? We're human. And she,
yes,
yeah. So she sounds a little under the weather, a little like she's got a frog in her throat, sick, or maybe she's been doing a lot of talking. I don't know. She broke from Hillbot. If you go find this clip, the person who posted the clip actually posted it to say, look, she couldn't even talk. She was coughing and she's so weak. They were a Trumper, making fun of her for that. Right? I don't make fun of her. I am disgusted by what she chose to represent, fracking and war. But as a human being, and this is my message to Hillary Clinton or to any other Democrat out there that's going to try to be a Democrat, I listened to her and immediately had, I don't know, like instant empathy or compassion for her because she was talking like a normal human. She just went, excuse me, then people were laughing. She's like, I got to get a lozenge. And then somebody came up and got her water. And she's like, thank you so much. She was totally a normal human, smiling and hugged somebody and wasn't the hill. It was an amazing. I was like, wow. And that was the first clip I saw. And the crowd reacted to her. Like we used to hear, like when you hear Bernie speak from the heart, or just, when he's just being Bernie, right? Hillary was just, for that brief moment, being the human being Hillary, and it was so much more appealing to me. Not that I would ever vote for her, but I was like, that it right there. Go watch that clip of yourself, Hillary, where you're coughing and people are calling you out for being weak. That's you being human. That's what we want. Find that humanness in you, politician. Hold on to it and remember it. That's your soul, and that's what will get you elected. Anyway, I just was like, wow, there she is talking. And then I thought that was maybe how she did her whole speech and why everybody was like really cheering. And then I played another part. I was like, oh, no. It's the same fucking bullshit. So, anyway. Yep, she's running for office. She's doing it again. Fuck. Says Brom. It's going to be a way different game this time. If the if the Democratic Party really wants to put Hillary Clinton up there, they're in for a fucking war. There's no way. Marcus is laughing.
Then I would say that Trump is a clever guy in comparison to the DNC.
Right. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
You think Trump's a clever guy compared to?
Yes, a rocket scientist. If they do this, Trump is a rocket scientist.
Maybe. She's still going to support the same shit, John. Listen, I'm not talking. I deplore her as a politician. I'm speaking as a human, and I'm using that example for other politicians. This is what you need to be. This is what you need to be, right? Rob Quist gained voters' support and spent less than half of his opponent in a special election. Didn't even have the time to really run, right? But he was able to touch the people human. Excuse me, I need a drink. Anyway. Hey, Chaz, Corporation Killer. Corporation Killer, you sent me an email, I think, talking about a video, but there was no link. So if you want to send that again, that would be cool. Dennis from Germany. I will count all the fucks in today's show at the end, and you will get results. Really? You're gonna? Thank you. Appreciate that.
Fuck.
Thank you, Mark. Are you gonna break it down
Good
between
luck.
who said them? You got to break it down. I want Marcus' list and my list because I'm gonna beat him. I will beat him hands down.
Yes.
Sorry. I did not vote for her in the general. I did fucking not. I voted for Jill Stein. I voted for Jill Stein in the general in Oregon because I knew that Hillary was going to win anyway, and I decided my vote was going to go for what I cared about, the issue, which was climate change. So I went Green Party. All right? So and I say that all the time. I tell you that all the time, that I voted for Jill Stein. I don't believe that we should be focusing our effort on the Green Party. I believe we should be focusing our effort on climate change within the two parties that control everything, but that's my belief, and other people believe in working with that party. Great. Do it. My fucks are winning. Thank you. I appreciate that. You did too, Oakland Ron. Very cool. Barbara wrote in
He's
Bernie.
only counting yours.
What? He's only counting mine?
He's only counting your fucks. Fuck you, Dennis.
Yeah,
Kidding,
because
man.
Marcus's fucks count too. Okay? They're just as important as my fucks. YouTube's just going to block this whole video. It says, we counted more than 400,000 fucks in one video. We're not sure how you did that. Right. Brad voted for, a lot of them voted for Jill Stein. Interesting. The problem with that for us, right, is that it doesn't matter the way our voting system is. It's not one person, one vote. And the fact that not all parties have equal representation. You know, we got all these other issues going on. And this had been Germany, it'd be a whole different story. Or France, whole different story, right? France, they probably could have written Bernie's name fucking in and won. Because it would have counted. That's, you know. Anyway, all right. Moving on. I didn't report on this stuff, guys. And I find this, a lot of people were talking about this, and it was running through social media. And this is the New York Times doing a big thing on it. I didn't realize what was going on here. Did the Turkish president's security detail attack protesters in Washington? Yeah, they did.
They did.
It's unbelievable. Look at this. They show this. That's a guard with a gun. He's punching people, beating them up. We don't know why. There's another guy with a gun. And what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Our government and other world governments are basically a bunch of suit and tie thugs. And we need to replace those thugs as quickly as possible because we're devolving, particularly in the United States, we're devolving into a pre-industrial age. I don't even know what it is. It's pretty bad where we're falling back to. A more subservient society that's ruled by just direct fear.
And after the attacks of the security, I think Senator McCain demanded to sanction Turkey somehow, because it cannot be that they are act like this in America, like they are now doing at home. And as a reaction of this critique, Erdogan ordered the ambassador of the USA to come to him and explain what's going on there. And he was complaining about the negative press, and he is. He's not shying away from provoking now the USA, just like he did Europe, and he's completely insane. And I think 45 and him are a perfect and a dangerous couple, because both are, in my opinion, okay. Erdogan is not that stupid, but
nobody's that stupid.
They're a dangerous couple in these times in the world.
Agreed. The thugs have risen because we let them. And I speak for my country only. I can't help Turkey or what's going on over there. Right. We're still very lucky. We are so lucky here right now that we have an opportunity to pull this out using politics and not rifles. Right. Turkey, I'm not so sure. Turkey, I think if they want to make any changes, they're going to need to. I mean, their leader's going around killing people. Right? In the Philippines, leader goes around kill people. Right now, today, our leader doesn't necessarily directly go around killing people. In our country, he allows law enforcement to do that rampantly, ICE to do what they please. He allows agencies to do that. But he hasn't gone to the mass extent that these other murderous thugs have. Not yet. He's waiting to put more people in power for states to take over. He's waiting for his thuggery to take over, and that's why we have to fight. Yeah, Marcus.
Yeah, and look what we see over and over with the police. They got free tickets as well. You know, they are not acting on order, but by knowing that nothing would happen to him, or nearly nothing can happen to him, to them. This gives some more power, you know, and to act like a dick.
Right. And that's happening, and that's the same thing. That happens here all the time. Morton County Sheriff's Department faced nothing, no crimes whatsoever. Had that been an invading force doing that to citizens, we would have blown them out of the sky. Would have blown them up. Would have dropped a big old bomb on them. Would have launched tomahawks. Would have done something. But instead, because they're law enforcement, they wear a badge. They were exonerated. And the narrative was spun that they were, I don't even know what the fuck they thought they were doing. We just... Jaffe was on Tim Black. Wonderful. Great. I'm glad he's making the rounds. That is good. And yes, I do think we have a chance through politics. I see it constantly. Oakland Ron, look at what just happened with Rob Quist. That tells me we have a chance. Look at what's happening here in Lynn County. Look at what's happening. Yes, we're winning. We're doing it. We are actually doing what the Tea Party did. We're doing it faster and we're doing it better. It's not hard to do. Really. Abso-fucking-lutely we're doing it. I wouldn't still be doing this here today. If I thought that the political option was over, I would be learning how to fight. I would be learning how to shoot guns. I would be figuring out how to defend my home from an invading military of government. I don't yet. I don't think we're there yet. I think we absolutely have a chance. I'm excited about where we can go. I think the more damage that Trump and company do, the more shithead politicians show their true colors. Do you realize how many politicians have been outed? How many politicians have been brought to their knees since the Bernie Sanders revolution because we are on them like hawks? We call them out, we record them, we catch them doing shit, and then we we lambaste them, we roast them, we destroy them. We have shown our power and our anger, and we're learning how to wield the tools of democracy that these parties have had control of for decades. We're learning once again how to pick up those tools and kick some fucking ass. So absolutely, you want to make it feel more like a real war, like what we've been indoctrinated into? Just apply those terms and that terminology to what we're doing today. It's what's going on. We are in the process of shifting our government towards a progressive government. And we are at the beginning of that really shitty climb up bullshit mountain. And we're making strides. Big, huge strides. And I can't thank Donald Trump enough for helping unravel the existing establishment bullshit mountain for us. He's doing a great job. And for Germany and France and everybody else. Uniting us all. He's uniting us all against corporate greed. I mean, that's basically what it is. He represents greed. He represents greed.
Yeah. I'm just thinking if this show would exist with Hillary as a president.
Say that again.
I was wondering if this show would exist if Hillary was president right now.
It probably wouldn't exist. Like, it wouldn't have as much to talk about, as much sensational information to talk about. But yeah, we'd still exist because I would continue to go. The establishment, it wouldn't have changed this because I would be fighting against the establishment one way or the other. I don't consider her any different. And Jeanette, yes, it was very American. Let's kick some ass, dude. I am trying to appeal to the general American. Like, if I were trying to appeal to the German populace, I'd say, let's be intelligent. Here in America, I'm like, let's kick some ass. Because we have to tap into that football, good old boy, USA thing. I have to. We are exactly. What's the Wesley Scott saying? Bernie is still in there fighting. Yes. The day Bernie Sanders goes onto a podium and says, I'm done with politics, go get your guns. The day Bernie says that, okay, I doubt he will ever make that statement. All right? So, keep in mind that.
And I see we have someone in chat who is, Dennis says, hey everyone, say a big massive hello to David. He's primaring Mrs. Feinstein.
Yes,
Glad
he is.
Join us, David. David Hildebrand.
David, I was going to reach out to you and see if to bring you on We the People.
Nice
and again, we don't use the F word on We the People, I promise.
No, that's true, yeah.
This show is called Conversational Therapy for the Revolution. It's just about us getting together to talk about what's going on, blow off some steam, discuss things, share achievements and accomplishments, and F words and all other words are completely allowed because we need a place where we can be free to do these things. I do have standards for other shows, and I do make a very nice production of We the People, and we use bigly words, and we don't cuss, and I even dress up a little better, and I'll shave, and we'll have you on, and I swear, I promise. So please don't run away. First Amendment, yes, David, thank you. And if you're still here, having listened to this much of the show, then I'm even more excited about having you on because it tells me you're very progressive.
Yes.
So wonderful.
Yeah, and he cannot leave an address here in chat, as it seems. And maybe if you want, David, you can send us an email to info@Bernie20.
He did already.
He did already. All right. Everything is cool.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to meeting you.
Yes, Steve Collins connected us. Thank you, Steve. Is it Steve? Yeah. And so yeah, we're good there.
Thanks, Steve.
Fritz Carl, is Feinstein running at all? If she is going to crawl for office, that would probably be more like it. I'm not sure she's capable of running for office. You're absolutely right, and I don't mean, listen, I don't mean that picking on her age. I'm actually picking on her mental state. Feinstein doesn't seem all there right now. And I mean that seriously. And I don't want somebody who's not clear with all their mental faculties. If you remember, Michael Tracy interviewed her a while back or tried to push her, question her on what she was saying about regime change. He caught her in her own loop of words. It's like, aren't you really just saying regime change? She's like, I don't want to, get me out of here. And she had no idea what to say. So thank you, Steve Collins. And wonderful, David. I'm excited about that. I just can't have you on this. What day is today? Yeah, today's Friday. We can either do this coming Wednesday or 2 Wednesdays from now. We'll just book live right now. What were you saying, Marcus?
About Feinstein, David Hildebrand says she'd run from the grave. So I think she has some more runs in her pocket.
Possibly, yeah. You're right. She would. That I wouldn't be surprised if the Democrats. They probably could run somebody who would be dead, and there are places in this country that'd be like, oh, I'll vote for. Wouldn't even know. That's how asleep our democracy's been, right? I mean, I admit to that. When I filled out the ballot for the special election, and I had tried to go, it took me an hour to go find information about any of these things, and there were 3 spots on that ballot that were just write-ins. Nobody was running for those positions. I feel lazy. Like, all I needed to do was pay $14, fill out a form, and write a cover letter. That was it. You want to know why the democracy blows? It's because nobody's willing to even do that. And the people that are willing to do that are the ones who get it. They're like, shit, you see all the power available? Look at all that power available up there. Look at all that money. Let's go in there. Let's write a cover letter. Anyway, that's why we're doing it. It's fucking Friday, says Kat. Nice. Dennis, you're talking about a German, OMG, a German have to take care of you guys and get your attention that someone so important attended our show stream. How ironic is that? What are you talking about, David Hildebrand? That's awesome. There are probably a lot of other people that maybe used to come here that don't anymore because I had no idea. Thank you all for being here. You're all equally important as far as I'm concerned. I didn't do my Mr. Rogers. Shit, we have a Mr. Rogers story. Okay, it's 11:30. I got to stay on focus because we're not even getting here. We got a bunch of stuff to go on. All right. We're gonna play this 3 minutes of Bernie. It's very inspiring. This is Bernie versus the Honorable Mick Mulvaney discussing the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office indication of the shit budget that Trump admin has released. And Bernie's question is about the ending of the what is that thing? The estate tax, so that we can give the Walton family a $52 billion tax break on top of the $160 billion they already own, while they pay their workers shit wages. And by the way, we subsidize them by about $6 billion a year. $6 billion. We subsidize a shit ton of Walmart. It's a lot of fucking money. They have no answers. This is like, I don't know how we combat this other than replacing these people. This is where we get into the problem of logic. When you speak directly to a person and you speak logic, right? It's like I can only do it with math. I was a math major. I can only do it with math. You tell somebody 2 + 2 is 4. Do you agree with that, sir? Yes, I agree. Okay, if 2 + 2 is 4, how come in your statement you are quoting 2 + 2 is 5? And you were saying that 2 + 2 is 5 here, and that's how you're going to go. But can you explain how you arrived at 2 + 2 is 5? No, but what we're trying to do is blah, 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 this, that. No, just answer my question. How is 2 + 2 5? They can't answer the question. They don't answer the question. Mulvaney never answers the question. This is how all of these politicians, they write something, it has a purpose, but when they're confronted with facts, when they're confronted with how come you did this, it doesn't work. You see that it doesn't work, right? You see that. The math is wrong. It doesn't work. Well, they have no answer. They can't. They're incapable because they didn't write this for the purpose of it being functional or successful. They wrote it for the purpose of greed. That's it. But when you have one leader, one representative, sorry not to use the leader word, when you have one representative using logic against another one who doesn't give a fuck about the logic, doesn't care. He's just going to sit there and answer the questions and be dumb and whatever because they know that they're in power. And they know that they can just keep doing this. They can keep making shitty budgets and keep making bullshit and crap. And it's a game of wearing each other down. And the only way we end this bullshit game, the only way we win this game is by replacing the Mulvaneys. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. But let's listen to this. Bernie makes me feel better.
Oh, yeah.
The wealthiest family in America gets a $52 billion tax break as a result of the repeal of the estate tax.
That's correct.
Tell the American people why you think that's good when you cut Medicaid and you cut programs for kids. Tell me, let me get back to one question.
Sure.
Why do you think the Walton family needs a $52 billion tax break?
My guess is that you're basing that assertion on the only tax detail that we have in the budget.
The repeal of the
repeal
estate tax. Exactly.
Right. And if we want to have a talk about why we're repealing that, I'd be more than happy to do
Good,
that.
let's tell me.
Because ordinary people are paying more.
No, ordinary people do not have a wealth of $128 billion.
The average,
That's not an ordinary person.
The average increase across this nation since
You're not answering the question. The question is, answer the question. The wealthiest family in America gets a $52 billion tax break as a result of the repeal of the estate tax.
That's correct.
Tell the American people why you think that's good when you cut Medicaid and you cut programs for kids.
We don't cut Medicaid. We're talking about repealing Obamacare. The results
Throwing
that you
23
mentioned,
million people off of health insurance. That's right.
which is a CBO number that I think you just agreed could be wrong at the
No, I
outset
didn't
of this
agree to
meeting.
that at all.
Okay. That we repeal Obamacare.
Why does a billionaire family get a $52 billion tax break?
Because-
Please tell the American people.
Because we think it's wrong that real ordinary folks lose coverage. And we want to get rid of
Ordinary
the plan.
people. Is the Walton family an ordinary family?
No, they're not. They're extraordinary. But ordinary people are losing coverage today under Obamacare.
I asked you why the wealthiest family in America is getting a $52 billion tax
And I'm answering the
break.
question by saying because we repeal Obamacare.
No, you and the estate tax, which applies to the top 0.2%.
Senator, okay, I'm sorry. I thought the assumption was we were looking at the tax reductions that are contained in Obamacare. repeal.
No, that's not what we're
You're
talking
mentioning the
about.
estate
No,
tax.
no, no.
Okay.
We're talking about the repeal of the estate tax, which you just mentioned.
The budget assumes a deficit neutral tax plan because when we wrote the budget, we did not have nearly enough specifics to assume what you're assuming, which is the specific reductions. Yes, the proposals that the White House published about 3 or 4 weeks ago, the principles that we set forward does include a reduction of the estate tax.
Repeal of the estate tax, sir.
He said, yeah, you're absolutely right. It is a repeal of the estate tax, but I think it's mathematically impossible to take those general principles and assume a direct impact on a particular family. You
No,
can't
that's
do it.
not-
Nobody can do it. I've seen estimates from groups that say, "Oh, it's going to
No,
add
that's
the
not-
deficit
that's-
by $2 trillion to $10 trillion." People
No,
are just
that's
making
really
up
not
numbers.
true. I mean, we don't know when people are going to be dying, that's for sure. But you can
I'm sorry,
make
you said
those
we
estimates.
don't know that people are going to.
No, you don't know when somebody is going to be dying. But the truth is that if the family is worth 100,
I'm pretty sure they're going to die eventually.
that we can be pretty sure of.
Well, at least we agree on something.
Fuck you.
Thank you.
Senator Graham.
Yeah, deep. That's all, folks. What the fuck? That I don't have any. It's like that's it. Just throw my hands in there. What the fuck? Are you kidding me? That's the response we get from the people we pay 6-figure salaries. That piece of shit. The only way to replace the honorable Mick Mulvaney is to take power and replace people with good people. That's it. That's it. There's no other way. Bernie can't make it happen. I can't make it happen. Germany can't make it happen. Oh, that would be great. But no, we actually have to do it. Unbelievable. He doesn't have an answer as to Walmart. Why does Walmart get a $52 billion tax break? Because Walmart controls our government along with other corporations. That's why. And because I'm sure Mick Mulvaney is getting paid a lot somewhere in some way, in a back room, in an alley, in an account somewhere offshore, to be this asshole. It's a lot easier to be an asshole in capitalist America when you're getting paid to do so. You're part of the boys club and you get treated well and you really don't need to give a shit about everybody else because you're part of the club. We need to change the club. It's our club. It belongs to us. We just let some other shitty, it's like some shitty fraternity showed up and took over the place. It's really annoying. Mealy-mouthed dick. I like that, Chaz. That's a good... Yeah. Catherine W. is really going to count the fucks one day next week?
I may be incorrect about the correctness of the term, but bitch slapping, I think, would be fitting, right?
Oh, God, yes. Just, yeah. Totally deserves that. Just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Moving on to ground game, everybody. We're probably... It just... Oh, where'd it go? hang on. I haven't looked at the actual card or shown you the actual card yet. Thought I'd do that. I take the time to make this every morning. It's my super graphic. So we talked about wipe it with Trump, and we've gone through Montana elects an asshole, and the Germans are bad. Very, very bad. And,
Very bad.
Bernie versus Mulvaney. See, you were talking bitch slap. I said I wish it were boxing. Because if everything that came out of Bernie's mouth were a fist, that dude would be TKO'd or just KO'd. And all he did was basically hang on Bernie like a bag. Right? And you've seen where boxers do that, where they just got nothing. They can't even respond. They're just hanging. That was him. No, I got nothing here. Bernie's dancing around like Muhammad Ali. Fact. Here's a fact in your head.
Like a bee.
Yeah. Totally. Stings like the truth.
Yeah.
Float like a Bernie, sting like the truth.
Yeah, that's
Anyway, moving on to things that are great but probably won't happen or have any real effect or balance on anything because we have no power. Where'd it go? Progressives are calling for $2 trillion in infrastructure spending. I'm glad they're doing this. I'm not going to run the thing. This is how we take our country back. This is job creation. They're all excited. They have this plan. They're going to run it in. And all I'm going to say about it is we don't have any power. So just like every other bill that's been submitted so far, for the most part, other than blocking legislation in a show of togetherness with Republicans that aren't completely morally bankrupt, which is something we seem to start doing now. There's no way that the GOP is going to go for any kind of $2 trillion infrastructure budget. There's just no way. So I'm glad they offered it. I'm glad they put it in there. The truth of the matter is we're going to be very, very frustrated until 2018. We're going to be very, very frustrated. Does that mean we don't support this or show our support of this? Absolutely not. Just don't expect any of these things to happen until we regain some power in the government. And that's why I'm so focused on regaining power in our government at the state level and then at the federal level. Because if things are going to change, they have to change first with the people. And we don't have that control. So I love the infrastructure thing. I think it's a great idea. It's just not, I don't see it happen. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But this, of all the things that happened with the Gianforte, the assault that he admits to, so it's not alleged anymore. All you MSM people out there, it's alleged. It's not alleged. He says, I did it. I was a dick. I did it. It's not alleged anymore. Okay. Anyway, this is frightening. This is the narrative. What's up, Marcus? What you saying?
Nothing. I was just moving a bit.
All right. I heard you move. I reacted. Like I got my motion sensors
great.
on the Marcus.
Very good.
This is so Fox News. Let's go on with this. Fox News was there. They were the eyewitness. The Fox News story is the story that had the facts, the eyewitness account, the local Fox News that was there interviewing Gianforte as well. Fox News nationally, this is Fox and Friends, right? They decided to take that narrative and rearrange it as the way Fox would do. They weren't happy with the truth. Their reporters told the truth. They were there. I want you to listen to whoever this is, Kelly McFox or whatever she is. I want you to listen to what she says happened. And listen to the words she uses. We all know what happened. Listen to how Fox spins the narrative on their own reporters' words.
Hours before the polls open in the Montana special election, a GOP congressional candidate is charged with assault. Greg Gianforte defending himself after he's accused of body slamming a Guardian reporter. The candidate says that reporter tried to push a phone in his face before this happened.
We'll talk to you about that later.
Yeah, but there's not going to be time. I'm just curious if you have the
speak
right
with
now.
Shane, please.
But you don't.
Sick and tired of you guys. The last time they came in here, you did the same thing.
Ooh, quite a scene. Gianforte's campaign says the men both fell. 30% of the vote has already been cast in the special election to fill Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke's open house seat.
Yeah, so the campaign for asshole said, oh, both men fell. And that was all they needed to do, was make that statement so that Fox and Friends could make that statement. Instead of saying, our own reporters actually saw the event and saw this guy take him down, be an asshole, and, quote, punch him in the face. Why Fox News didn't quote their own reporters on that, I don't know. Oh, wait, I do know. It's because it only mattered till the next day. The next day, when he won, he got up on stage and said, I apologize for tackling a reporter, being an asshole, and punching him in the face. I wonder how much of an effect that would have had on the vote, even though 30% was already cast, if Fox and Friends had actually used those statements. The ones that came from their reporters before they came out of Greg's mouth the next day after he won. Do you see how convenient that is? See how convenient that shit is? That's why I'm still here. That's why we still do independent media, because we've got lying assholes that aren't required to tell the truth because our federal laws don't require them to tell the truth until we get in there and change them. They used to. They used to. We've talked about that before. How you guys doing? How's everybody? They both went for the gun. Chicago reference. Nah. Both fell. Yes, Jeanette. So it's bullshit. Such bullshit. And I noticed David Hildebrand said he's got to go get back to work because he works full time and he's trying to run against Dianne Feinstein. So that's huge. So please help him out. Get connected with him. Thank you, David. We'll figure out when we're going to bring in Do We the People. And very excited. Thank you for running against Dianne Feinstein because that's going to suck. It's going to be really hard. It's going to cost a lot of money and it's going to mean a lot of work. And so I hope anybody that's in California that's near you that can help does. And I am at your service. Whatever I can do and whatever I can do with this gear and equipment, at your service. Although you're probably off working now and you're not hearing any of this stuff. Anyway. Fox has their own narrative to grind. They know the majority of their viewers are low information folk. Right. Right. And that the rest of the people in Montana that are voting, they don't need to hear anything about Greg being a dick. They just want to be assured that he's the right person to vote for. That was it. Fox did what they needed to do. We covered the story. We just omitted parts that our own crew knew about because that's good reporting, right? Good reporting. The violence Forte will do in Congress with his voting will make his brawl seem like nothing niceville. There you go. Well, hopefully he'll piss off more people that way. Meanwhile, in Rhode Island, Senator Jeanine Calkin is kicking ass. She even got her name on the headline here. Senators Calkin, Metz, and Quesada press DOH and DEM for answers on gas leak. And this is good. Basically, they're chasing after the company that had the gas leak. They're saying, you guys haven't provided any oversight, no information. What the hell's going on? We represent the people. All right. Senators Jeanine Calkin, Democrat District 30, Warwick, Harold Metz, and Ann Quesada expressed concerns for the residents of South Providence who were exposed to March 29th national grid leak and are at risk of further exposure in the event of future problems. That's what you expect of a rep, right? She's writing legislation, working with other senators, getting on the asses of the fossil fuel industry that's negligent all the time. And Rhode Island's got fracking all over the place. I can't believe that. So anyway, good on Jeanine. Hopefully we'll have Jeanine on the show in a few weeks. I'm going to reach out to her. I finally feel like we're in a place and that it's good. I've been waiting on that to invite her back, trying to leave her be because of how much work she did, not only for Bernie, but for the state of Rhode Island, but before that, for Bernie and for this channel. Because without Jeanine, Bernie 2016 TV would never have survived a month. So
Yeah.
her organizational skills, her production knowledge, her technology knowledge, those were all critical in making this thing fly and keeping it running. And she did that and ran Rhode Island for Bernie and ran the Bernie headquarters in Rhode Island and became a fucking senator. She's a fucking superwoman. And I have a massive amount of respect for her. So hopefully we'll get her on here.
Yeah, would be great.
It would be. It would be. Catherine W. Steve, I don't have the temperament to run. I have no filter. Don't say that. I don't have the temperament to run either, but I will do so if asked. I will do so if there is no other option. I'm not going to deny myself something that might need to happen, right? And saying that is just like maybe that's what we need. Somebody who doesn't have the temperament, right? Maybe we need that kind of an attitude. That's what I'm saying. Let's bring some people with a little more. That's us, right? Right. Where it's not so much about how I look. It's what I do. That's what I want. It's not the fact that I smoke pot. It's the fact that my actions and my words match. That's what I'm looking for, right? I think you can do that. We can all do that, right? Anyway. Just a thing. What he's saying, I would slip up in my own campaign with something like, vote for me instead of those GOP fuckers. But why is that a slip up anymore? See, now let's talk about that. Look at what Trump has done with that, with the realm of politics. If he can get away with being the piece of shit he is right now on the national stage as the top representative for the United States of America, it's pretty much opened the door. You could probably run topless and be fine. I could probably run with a joint in my hand the whole time. And I would just use that argument. Well, I'm not shoving other politicians around. I'm not calling other nations bad. I'm focused on the issues. You're really going to slight me for a joint in my hands when that fucker just did this? Really? I mean, come on. The entire perspective on the American political, it's changed. The bar has been... We no longer have this facade of bullshit. I don't have to look like a suit and tie pretty boy to run. As a matter of fact, I think that's probably negative, right? The Hill bot, the political bot. Look, we don't want that anymore. We want Rob Quists. That's the difference. We want the human. I don't want the Ken doll or the Barbie doll politician. It looks nice on the outside and it sounds nice, but it doesn't do shit for me when I get it home. It's basically what it is. Yeah. That joint will get you elected in Oregon. Elijah, that's going to be my, if I end up having to run for anything, that's going to be my platform. I'm just going to make a lot of joints. Have my volunteers go around, hand out joints to anybody who wants one. Vote for John Ellis. He believes in unity and joints. What?
Hand rolled by your candidate, John Ellis.
Oh my God, that would be. There you go. And I could work with a grower out here to create a unity strain. Let's create the unity strain. Get everybody smoking unity strain. What do you think about that? Yeah. Kat says, with my purple hair, piercings, and tats. Do you guys know what Janine Calkin had? Purple hair. Okay. Right. Janine Calkin had, and I believe she might still have purple hair. She said the same thing. I remember her talking about that. And she's like, no way, I'm not going to run. Because Janine's got a really hardcore East Coast. She's, oh my God, I could never do it. She didn't even want to be on camera. You understand that when we started BTV, her original thing with me is, I don't want to be on camera. And then she ended up being on camera. And then she ended up having the confidence to do more. And then they asked her to run. And I mean, that's Janine. And I remember at the beginning, she's like, don't you ever put me on camera. I don't want to see my face on a camera.
and there I see parallel lines between me and her, because I don't want to be on camera as well.
Well, right now you're on camera. Too bad for you.
No, I know that you would do this right now.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm glad that I'm unshaved, because so I can hide a little bit, because I'm a shy guy, between my facial hair and the tip of my microphone.
Are you feeling inadequate? Are you feeling inadequate because you got tiny facial hair and you got a tiny microphone? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And you're bad.
We'll talk about this tomorrow with Laura, I guess.
We will.
Yeah, of course.
Mr. Nice Guy campaign with buds and greeting cards. This bud's for you. Oh, geez.
This was for you.
Yeah.
Good.
Oakland local is my best. Was that a strain you're talking about? The Seedsman. They're like, that's buy from the Seedsman. Anyway, we're running late again. I'm not getting through. I'm just not doing well. There's just too much fucking news. There's a lot of links that I didn't get to. There's a link in here to a Miss DeLauro, and she speech, and we're buffering a lot of people on tomorrow because I won't. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
It'll be we'll have everybody in.
It would be pretty much overcrowded, and maybe we would need to leave a door open for all those people. So everybody fits in.
Yeah, we'll figure it. Yeah, we're gonna have to do that. Leave the door cracked. Yeah, it is freezing, guys. Sorry about that. It should resolve itself. Jim Lockett, you like the idea of a unity strain? Who's a grower in Oregon? Who's a licensed grower and strain creator in Oregon? Love to work with you. Love to learn from you. Honestly, I'm doing my thing here, but it's really amateur. You know, I'm like an amateur meddler, really, just growing weed. And I know it's buffering. Sorry, guys. Okay. Where was I going with this? Just a few more things before we get out of here. Got 6 minutes. There's a pretty long, deep article in here that on the if you dig down into it, says these military vets have found a smarter way to fight the war on terror. We just can't keep killing our way out of this problem. Right? Well, the war on terror is a bunch of bullshit anyway. It's basically a way to perpetuate the global arms trade, which America is the Walmart thereof. And this is a great story, and it's touching, and it's wonderful, and I'm not dissing it. I think it's great. Basically, what they're talking about is that these soldiers in Afghanistan, Iraq, that have been through all these tours, running around, bringing out democracy and supposedly saving people, right, have figured out that blowing people away and using bombs and guns to bring about peace is like fucking for virginity, right? Not really all that helpful. It's destruction. When you go about doing this is what I want to bring it to. That was an interesting sound. What was that, Marcus?
Yeah, this was my door.
Oh, you got company.
Yeah.
All right, Marcus has got to go get company. That was his door. Sounded like a prison cell alarm. That's crazy. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, so these guys basically said, we realize that destroying things really hasn't done much to help the human beings here. And then they decided to start working with the communities and working with the people there in helping them start their own businesses and become independent farmers and grow and create things. In other words, they discovered that when they put their guns down and started working with these human beings to create rather than to destroy, it was way more effective and fulfilling and accomplished more. No knock in the military, but duh. Duh. Double fuck duh. Double face palm, are you fucking kidding me? Duh. Of course, creation and working together with somebody is going to be 10 million times more productive than destroying things in the name of peace. Destruct, construct, pretty simple. Why do we have to learn this paradigm, this whole, why does it take regime change, massive wars for years and years for the greedy, for our military to figure this out? I want everybody in our military to put down a gun and pick up a tool, a useful tool. Rebuild America, rebuild the world. God, imagine what our military forces could do. We've got so many of them. We could just put that effort into construction, not destruction. Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, yes, well, Oakland Ron, the best way to stop terrorism is to stop fucking with the Middle East. That's a given. I know. We perpetuate that. Stop being the Walmart of weapons. Agreed. And I think your facial hair looks fine, Marcus. It's just really hard to see because you're a little pixelated there with your poor German internets. But,
Yeah, this is going to change,
Yeah, how's that bandwidth? It's still tiny, but you're going to get wider?
John, we are in Germany. It is a bureaucracy, and it takes a little time. I think 3 weeks until I got a speedy connection. And, and I think that would be improve my camera and the transmission.
That's all right. It's okay for now. We understand. Germans are bad. Just remember that.
Yeah, they're bad.
And John Warren says, John, that's not intuitively obvious for your average Joe on the street. Remember, we've been propagandized. I know. It's agreed. And there's still many things that I'm still dealing with in terms of that propaganda, right? Wow, they're really active today. Really, really want to talk to me today. Why don't I turn the sound off? I don't know. I forget. David Hildebrand, we were talking about you. Here's his page. It's in the description. It's in the links, guys. He's got, he needs your help. He's going to need a shit ton of money to fight the machine that's going to put that casket up against him, right? And they would, too, if she was in a casket. But that's fine. Here's Dianne Feinstein right here, everybody. Here's some of her past speeches. Just vote for her. They could probably run enough media to win. That's all they really need to do is run enough media. And there's a massive amount of establishment there to back her. So we need to help David as much as possible. We'll talk more about this next week. But the links are in the description or whenever we have them on, a couple weeks. Help him if you can. There's another link to a Democracy Now! Article I don't have time to cover. Scahill and Greenwald talk about what if all victims of war received the same media attention that the Manchester victims did? Wouldn't that be interesting? That would mean that Morton County Sheriff's Department would have been spotlighted for their human rights abuse and thuggery and shooting things at American citizens, right? It's amazing how our media picks and chooses what's horrific and what's not. Like the Coptic Christians were bombed today. And everybody's freaking out about that. Oh, terrible. Sorry. Yes, it is. It's terrible and it's sorry. But, that happens every fucking day thanks to our weapons around the world. Every day. Every day. Every day. All the time. Right. We don't have time to go through it, but it's a good article. You should read it. Actually, it's Democracy Now! I didn't have time to play the video. I wanted to get the climate because this is exciting stuff. We got some climate and some science to talk about. This is my favorite part of the news today. All right. NOAA predicts an above average Atlantic hurricane season with 5 to 9 hurricanes expected and like 14 tropical storms with names. 14 storms with names, 5 to 9 hurricanes expected, with 4 of those hurricanes expected to be badass. Now, there's other people that have come up with other statistics and blah, 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 whatever. We've seen the pattern. We know what's happening. We know that when you've got warmer air and more water, it makes hurricanes worse. That's a fact. Okay? And every year, things are warmer and wetter. So this hurricane season ought to be a blast for those of you on the East Coast and down there in Florida and everybody. And that ties in so well with the next point. A lot of people have been saying about sea level rise, right? The climate deniers, everybody that's dubious about the science, dubious about the numbers. Oh, it can't raise that much. What's the 3 inches of water? Big fucking deal, right? And our MSM reports on this, like, it's biblical flooding. Here's something they forgot about with metrics. I love this. I wasn't even thinking about this in terms of a metric. There's so many things that happen with our environment. It's complex. It's actually probably more complex than healthcare for the United States. It's going to go there. Don't tell Trump. Freak as shit. And I'm Jay Atkinson 85. Hey John, just jumped into one of your streams live for the first time in a while. Are you following the events in the UK election in the UK? Jeremy Corbyn just called out the West Warrant here. Yeah, I've been seeing the little things pop up about Jeremy Corbyn, and I haven't been talking about them as much lately, just because he's a great guy, and I need to focus on the shit going down here. But yes, I love everything he's been doing. He's your Bernie, and I wish we had our Bernie in power like you guys have there. Anyway. Doubling of coastal flooding frequency within decades due to sea level rise. This isn't about the amount of water. It's how often that water is going to be hitting the coast. It's how much more flooding is going to happen. How many more times? Like how many more tornadoes and how many more hurricanes and how many more biblical, historical events, right? And that this is going to happen more often. Coastal flooding will happen more often. It may be the same 3 inches of water that everybody says no fucking deal, but it's going to hit more often. So your home's going to be flooded more often. Your businesses will be flooded more often. Your beaches, your parks. Just another aspect of the complete environmental cascade failure that we have happening right now. And we are doing nothing to prevent it. I'm so excited. I am excited to see what happens with hurricane season because hurricanes are awesome. And I am really sorry for all the human beings that still live in an area where they're going to be devastated by them this year. Right now, we're watching the Midwest get pummeled with hurricanes and all sorts of fun stuff. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. Climate change and Trump. 2 crises that are uniting the globe. It's an amazing thing. It's beautiful. It's got me excited. I want to offer an apology to, I believe, Springfield Progressive, Eco Sutra, and many others who talked to me about this. And at the time, I was ignorant of what was really going on. And now that I've read this particular article and seen big pictures, it actually took big pictures for me. I had to see the pictures. I'm discouraged by this. I suppose I should be encouraged because it is wind power as opposed to fossil fuel power, but it seems like a bullshit. It seems all it really was to get GE a contract and appease renewable energy folks. But I don't even understand why we would build this platform in this way. It seems counterintuitive to renewable energy in the first place. What is it? This is the Block Island wind farm that went off the coast of Rhode Island. I think that's where it is. And is rated at 30 megawatts, which doesn't sound like a lot to me for wind, which is the amount required to power every home on Block Island. Eric Cursory, the farm's project manager, tells Business Insider, it will emit about 40,000. Here's where I'm like, why did we build this? Here's where I go into why we build this. Just this first statistic that's supposed to impress me, which doesn't. It says, it will emit about 40,000 fewer tons of greenhouse gases per year than fossil fuels would generate the same amount of energy. So it's not really renewable energy, is it? Because it uses fossil fuels. And apparently it uses a lot of fossil fuels because if we're talking about a 40,000 ton reduction as being awesome, then holy shit. And apparently that 40,000 ton reduction of greenhouse gases equals about 150,000 cars off the road. Well, how many cars on the road does it equal just to function? Anybody do that math for me? And how much fossil fuel did it take to build this shit? And apparently it's going to take tankers and other platforms that are out there shipping stuff back and forth. I don't even understand. These are windmills. Why do we have fossil fuels involved at all? I'm not an engineer. I didn't build them. Maybe I'm a dumb shit when it comes to this stuff. I don't get it. Should be pretty simple, right? Wind turns a thing makes energy goes to the shore. Why do we have fossil fuels involved? I don't get it. So I don't even understand how this is good. It seems like one step forward, half step back. Yay. I don't know. I don't really understand. Maybe I'm wrong about that. You guys are talking about Corbyn. Lynn says, I've been to Block Island. What do you think of it? What do you think of it? I'm depressed when I look at this. I mean, the windmills are cool and huge and are awesome and amazing, but they're so huge. That thing is huge. It's so huge. They had to ship these blades out on massive shipping containers. I want to know how much fossil fuel was needed to make these things and how many years it's going to take for them to even displace that. This whole thing seems just like a bullshit circus for people to make money and claim renewables. It doesn't seem like it's a good investment. And they talk about the lifetime of these turbines, like it's a short lifespan. So I don't even understand, like we built these structures and then they're going to have a short lifespan, not generate a lot of energy really, and they're going to utilize fossil fuels while they do it. Who came up with this shit? Why didn't they just float solar panels out there like China? Or use tidal energy? Tidal energy. I don't get it. I don't get it. Who's thinking stupid with climate? Anyway.
Is the era where those things are built, is it a windy era? Is it because
great wind.
Great
wind.
Okay. Because if it was only a kind of promo action, then I would say I would build them up into another windy region, to prove that these kind of energy of the new energy doesn't work,
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what the deal is.
But there is no other way. Instead of doing nothing, we have to invest in this. And and the question is, why not choosing another kind of renewable source like solar, as you said,
I don't know. What's Jim Lockett? I have a QP of some grunge. I used to. Nice deep breaths. What are you guys talking about? Yeah, I agree. Tidal energy systems are the stuff that needs to be done, says Jay Atkinson 85. I agree. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. I thought, wind power was a little more efficient. I don't know what the deal is. Why did we pick this? Why do we invest it? I don't know, Marcus. I don't know.
Sure. Good question, huh?
Yeah, I mean, what is this great point? Oakland Ron, it takes 1 to 4 tons of coal needed to make one solar panel. Are we using coal energy to make solar panels? No, we're not. Why are you quoting me that statistic? What are you trying to say there with that number? Because I guarantee you the Tesla Gigafactory doesn't use coal to produce its solar panels, and I guarantee you that energy statement that you just read is not correct in terms of what it takes to create a solar panel. Not today. So show me some source on what you're trying to talk about there. Yes, Steve Collins, I know they effectively help shut down a diesel plant. I get that. My statement is they're still utilizing fossil fuels, and apparently a lot of it, to do what they do. Why? Why would you invest in any solution that would need to be so connected to fossil fuels to function as some kind of a half-assed renewable solution? That's my only question. Why not just do it right? That doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't make any sense. It's a wind farm.
Interesting.
Yeah. What, Marcus?
Interesting thing coming from Jay Atkinson 85. In the UK, wind just overtook coal in terms of our energy production.
Yeah.
If it is so cool, we're very good.
Well, that's happened in a lot of places.
And look, the old image of Britain. Britain was always a coal-intensive country. If you think of the industrial age, and
absolutely,
yeah, this turn would be awesome, cool.
It would. All right. We're gonna move on to that because we're even later again, and it's getting hot in here. Looks like it's gonna be a hotter day today than it was yesterday. Remember the gas explosion in Firestone, Colorado, and then they found out that it really was because of the negligence of the gas company, and they found another gas pocket, another one. But don't worry, this one's at least 200 feet from any homes. But nice that they're looking, nice that they're doing a little research there. So there's a massive gas pocket right there in that same neighborhood. It's out in a field, though, so it won't blow up any houses. Might blow up some kids, dogs, other things. It's going to blow up. They don't do something about it. Why are we still messing with fossil fuels at all? At all. It's dangerous. It's dumb. Dangerous and dumb. All the links are in the description, everybody. There's a link. I'm not going to run it. There's a link to the gift exchange where Idiot handed the Pope a giant thing of MLK's books, which I'm sure Idiot never read. And then the Pope gave Idiot his dissertation on climate change. It's a beautiful exchange. Idiot won't read any of that material. He probably didn't even know what the Martin Luther King thing was. Just here, it's a big thing. I got you a big book. Probably thought it was one big book. That's what it looked like. Anyway, There's also a link to Mr. Rogers' story that I'm not going to have time to talk about at all because it's very touching and it's deep, and we'll probably go over it tomorrow. But it's a guy who actually got to meet Mr. Rogers, and the story is really cool. And I forget who dropped that to me. It was Holly. Thank you, Holly, for dropping that. That was really cool. We're going to end with the song, a cheesy song, Hard to Say I'm Sorry, Getaway by Chicago. And I was telling Marcus about this yesterday, and the reason is because I feel like the establishment DNC, this is where they're at. If they really want to move forward, they need to accept that they're wrong and apologize. And that's what we're all kind of asking them to do, and it seems to be really hard for them to say they're sorry. But the story I want to tell you that really doesn't connect all that well to this at all is about what's happening with my Democratic Party in Lynn County right now. Through emails and conversations and trust, now I'm going to have a meeting with the chair of our Democratic Party in Lynn County. She's going to meet me on the week of June 5th, on June 6th, actually. And we're going to sit down and we're going to discuss how we take what she knows needs to be done within the party and apply my technology and tools and our understanding of the online tools to process an organization so that we can move our county's Democratic Party into the 21st century, grow the organization, organize ground troops to accomplish what we need to accomplish. And then we're going to take this whole model, once successful with metrics, and we're going to bring it to the state. And then I'm going to take that and we're going to bring it to red states. But I am at this point able to work with and working with my Democratic Party directly. And it seems like such a small, insignificant thing, right? One county in an already progressive state. What good is it to do there? It's because we see how easily it is to move up in the ranks. There's empty seats. There's a lot of powers that are being held by stupid people, quite frankly, people that aren't qualified to do the job. And we need to replace those people. And that means we need to train new people and we need to upgrade the democracy to the 21st century. And I've been given an opportunity to work in my county to make that happen. And hopefully I'll be able to expand on that. Where does this all come into and everything? Where I'm going with this is be a change agent. That's what I used to be. When I worked in the corporate world, I worked for about a decade in corporate world. I worked for a company called Sam Ash Music, and I learned so much from them. They were an amazing company, retail music company, that was the only real competitor nationally to Guitar Center, which probably everybody's heard of. And back east, you guys might know who Sam Ash Music is. But I came in, I proved myself, and I became a change agent for that company, kind of like a fixer. Go into stores that were all fucked up and had problems with inventory or whatnot, figure out how to improve things. And that included giving the employees the tools, the training they needed to do things better, working with that staff, bringing them together as a family, making them feel good about what they're doing and better about where they needed to go with their inventory and their sales and whatnot in the store. You don't just go in there and say, y'all suck and we have to make it better. You show up and you work with them. You figure out what's wrong and you work with them to improve it and make it better. You integrate and you become a part of that store's family for a while, and then you leave and go do another store. That was what my job was. And so now I get an opportunity to kind of take those skills and that experience and do the same for the Democratic Party. That's applying tools and knowledge to something that is vastly more important than music retail. It's empowering for me. And I want you guys to know that you can do the same thing. You have that power. Go reach out, whether you don't want to, the Democratic Party, Green Party, Independent Party, Republican Party, whatever it is. You have that same power. Whatever your skills and assets are, they need them right now. And for the Dem Party in general, we know they need to apologize. We know that they need to accept that they made mistakes if we're going to work with anybody remaining in the Dem Party, right? It's hard for them to say they're sorry right now. That's okay. We understand. We're going to take over the party regardless. You don't have to apologize. We're going to win regardless. We're going to either work with you or replace you. So I understand if it's hard for you to say you're sorry. We're going to get away either way. Marcus, thank you for always being here, my friend.
Thank you, man. And thanks to our audience. You guys rock.
Yes, they do. We will see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Big ass
Tomorrow
show.
is John, Laura, Dennis, me, and of course Sam Ronan is back with us. And yeah, you should tune in and have a great conversation, just like every day, guys.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank everybody in the BTV volunteer group. You have no idea how much I rely on you every day. You are my newswire and you're my family, my close family. So everybody that's in the Slack, I know I don't say it, but thank you. Thank you for giving me a family to work with. And everybody in the audience, all here, you as well. My extended family out into the world. The last thing I want to say about this song, though, and the reason it came into my mind, is about being human. This song and this album, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the band Chicago, but Chicago in the 60s, 70s, big brass, a lot of big sound. And my dad was into jazz and brass. He played the trombone. And when I was like 1982, I don't remember when this came out. It was really early 80s. My dad and my mom got divorced. And that was when I remember seeing my dad be human for the first time. Because I saw him sad. And he bought this tape, this album, Chicago album. And I remember riding in the car with him one day. And he was listening to this song. And I could see that he was crying. And I thought, wow, that's my dad being sad. That's my dad being human. It completely changed my perspective on Dad, right? And in essence, what we're really trying to do here is bring us back to human. And we've lost that. I don't know what happened. Hard to say, I'm sorry. I have no idea what it is with the blinking words.
Everybody needs a little time away. I've heard her say from each other. Even lovers need a holiday. Far away from each other. It's hard for me to say I'm sorry. I just want you to stay. After all that we've been through, I will make it up to you. I promise to. And after all that's been said and done, you're just a part of me. I believe